So you wrote a book. Be proud of yourself. You know, how many people have did that? But, you know, you're watching these videos probably because you wrote a book and no one's reading it. And you're kind of confused. You don't know why. You probably have, maybe you've seen these YouTube videos where people are jumping up and down saying, you can make $1 million writing books and have this passive income. And so you're excited, but those are just videos. You know, I'm going to be honest, writing a book and making money from it, it's not impossible, but it's hard work. You really have to put effort into it. And the first thing you need to think about is, why would someone want to read your book? They don't know who you are. You're a new author. If you're watching these videos, chances are you probably don't have a platform, which is, you know, an audience that you've already established. And so no one knows who you are. No one knows that you wrote this book. And no one knows that even if they see this book, that it's any good. People don't want to spend money on some indie author who hasn't been vetted, that no one's read. But how do you get people to read it? How do you get people to give you a chance? And the first thing you really need to work on, I would say the first month, before, if you haven't published your book, I always say spend the first month trying to do this. And what you should be trying to do is getting reviews. How do you get reviews? You know, how you haven't even published your book yet, so how's someone supposed to write a review? So let's talk about that a little. There's going to be all kinds of ways to get it, and I'll mention some paid ways, I'll mention some free ways, and some kind of best case uses. So really the first way that you're probably going to hear a lot of is the paid way. If you've published a book and you're kind of like on these different places reading different articles about how to sell your book, you're probably going to hear a lot about things like Publishers Weekly or Forward Magazine. There's all these paid publications that, you know, really what they do is they sell affiliate links to different popular websites because they make a lot of money off these reviews. So let's look at a few of them. So the first place you'll probably hear of is Publishers Weekly. Publishers Weekly is huge. All the libraries, the public libraries, educational places, they all subscribe to this place called Publishers Weekly, and it's really just a book buying magazine. Like it's reviews of all the hot books coming out. And so of course you'd want to be in this. Why wouldn't you? But Publishers Weekly, they're only for like the big books. So you'll see reviews of things like Harry Potter. You won't see reviews of things like Jane Doe's new self-published book. And the reason for that is they want you to pay for it. So if you look through here, there's like all these submission guidelines, and they'll give you a way to try and get your book reviewed for free, but they're not going to do it because of this place called Book Life. And Book Life isn't even working. Okay, so Publishers Weekly, they want you to pay for this thing called Book Life. And Book Life it's a paid service. Even though they say it's free, it's all free. Submit for review. But let's dig in and see what they mean by this. Okay, so we go into kind of a little deeper down, and they don't promote this that well, but Book Life reviews are service provided for $399, which is interesting because right here it just said that it was free. Register your book, submit for review, it's all free. So what do you mean it's all free? It's $399. So there's It's an expensive way to get a review. Publishers' Weekly reviews, free to submit, not all books are accepted. And Book Life reviews, paid, guaranteed. So what they're saying is you can submit through Book Life to get in Publishers Weekly. And they might review it, they might not. Or you can pay this fabulous $399 fee and get this professional review, and it's all yours for the low price of $399. And it will be in this huge publication. Sounds great, right? Except it's not. Because having a review from Publishers Weekly, it's honestly, I've never known a writer who has come away from this and said it was worth the money. They got 1,000 more reviews. It looks nice. So if you're looking for marketing to have something you could put in a press release, and I guess go for it. But if you're to the point where you're doing press releases, that's another thing you need to think about, because people don't read press releases either. So they're all kind of upsells. And another place you can go is Library Journal. So Library Journal, it's another place you can go for reviews. And this is, again, it's read by librarians. It's all very professional, but again, it's really hard to get reviews in here, especially if you're an indie author. They have so many books that come through their desks, they don't have time to read the smaller ones. They don't really give books a chance. So if you're not submitting through a big publisher, you're probably not going to get one. Forward Magazine, it's kind of like the premier journal for indie books. They were really created to be this place where new books could get discovered. It was for where you go if you weren't a best-selling author. And there were people that were looking to discover books that weren't as popular. But again, just like Publishers Weekly, this is a paid service. So let's see if they have a price. Yeah, $499 for a review. My advice, don't pay anyone for a review. There's one caveat, I guess, to this. If you really want to get professional review, and I usually do, when I publish a book, I will pay for one place, and I'm going to show you that next. Before I show you that, though, let's talk about one other place, which is NetGalley. So NetGalley is a place where it's a paid service, but some authors are successful here. What NetGalley does is it puts your book up in front of influencers. So an influencer would be someone that does Instagram or blogs or any place like that, anything on like social media. And magazines also subscribe to this, so that they have a chance to review it too. And so NetGalley, you'll pay for it, they'll put your book in front of these people, and it's really up to them to say, this book looks interesting, maybe I'll get it. And you can select like how many people review it, how many people you accept. I've did this before, and I've got, I could probably count on one finger how many reviews I've gotten from it. And it's expensive too. It's several $100s. We won't go into the exact price, because what I recommend doing if you really want to do a NetGalley is look for places that offer NetGalley as part of a different solution. So it's called a NetGalley cooperative. And what a NetGalley co-op is you kind of like share the costs. So this Espresso Book Tours, they have a pretty good price for it. It's $65 for a 1-month term. So if you really want to try NetGalley, see if it does anything for you, I would recommend using something like this, either them or something comparable. And their rates actually aren't that bad. I've seen it as cheap as maybe $50 on some places, but this is the easiest one to get booked in my opinion. So if you're interested in NetGalley, I would go through them. So I said there's one place to go if you actually want to pay for it. And what is that? This place is called Reader's Favorites. And Reader's Favorites, they'll review your book for free. But if you want it really quick, I think they give you about a 2-week turnaround versus a free, which could take several months if they even review it. Then there's a paid service. So let's see, request a book review, and this is the free one. But then there's a place down here. It says get an express review, and it's a 2-week express review for $59. So it's really, it's not that much for a good looking review. And let me give you an example of what that would look like on a page. Okay, so right here is actually my reader's favorite review. So I'll show you how to add these editorial reviews. But what you need to know for now is just that you could take one of these professional reviews and add it to your listing. And it's probably not going to sell any books, but it's just a way to make you look a little more vetted. Like someone has read you and they've given you a chance and they've said, yeah, it's worth reading. And the review from Reader's Favorite, it's actually longer than this. I've just condensed it because you just want to kind of highlight the best parts of the review. And with Reader's Favorites, they say it's an honest review. What I'll say about that is I don't know anyone who's ever did it and got a bad review if they're paying for it. So I don't know how they work. But my opinion is they probably give anyone who pays for it a good review. They just kind of tell their reviewers, this person's paying, you gotta give them a good run because then they might ask for their money back. So is it honest? I think it's honest because you get a review that it's an honest review, but sometimes the review is a little too positive. They don't have a lot of negatives in it. So I guess in that respect, it's not that honest, but it is what it is. So that's what it is. If you want to use it, you know where to find it. It's Reader's Favorites. All right. So how do you get the ones that aren't paid? And there's a couple places to go. There's actually 2 I think you should know about, or we'll say 3. Let's do 3 because there's one that isn't as known actually, and I think you might have good luck there. So the first one, Library Thing. Back in the day, you had 2 competing social media platforms for writers. You had a Library Thing and you had Goodreads. And then funny thing happened along the way. Goodreads was purchased by Amazon, and Amazon owns something and it's them against the little guy. Who do you think's going to win? It's going to be Amazon. So that's why most people today they use Goodreads. They probably haven't even heard of this thing called Library Thing. But Library Thing, the people who do know about it, they're librarians. It's a really big community of just like book lovers. So people who probably aren't even on Goodreads, they come here because it's a different type of community. And with Library Thing, they have a giveaway tool that can be really helpful for getting reviews. And to get to the giveaway tool, you'll go to Library Thing. This is the link up here. But you can also just Google Library Thing giveaway. And then you'll just sign up and... Alright, so once you're logged in, then you can actually do a thing called post a giveaway. And you can see some of the giveaways when you scroll down. And on the digital ones, you can do like 50, actually on both of them, you can do 50 review copies available. And you can see how many people are requesting it. So some have a lot of reviews, like 7 are requesting this one, 19 are requesting this one, 14 this one. And you can give away both digital copies, which would be like PDFs and EPUBs, or you can also give away print copies, which, you'll get more people entering those ones because they want a physical copy that they can put on their bookshelf. But you also have to pay for shipping on that. So you have to pay for printing, for shipping, so there is a cost to you. It's free to add it as a giveaway, but you have to pay to actually do that. So let's look at post a giveaway. And you'll just do your title, your author name. You don't have to do publisher unless you have one, your website if you have one. Down here is what you want to pay attention to. So paperback, ebook, or audiobook. And then you can do your description. You can give a giveaway description where you're saying like, hey, I'm giving this away because I really want reviews. You think you can help me? I would encourage you to pay attention to this too. Only check off the countries that are English speaking. book is in English. I probably don't want to do it for France or Germany. You can, it's up to you, but the reason I normally only do like US, UK, Canada is because I've had people enter them that are from countries where, like, they're from India or from China, and it could be legit. Like, there's people there that read books, but I feel like maybe they could be people that are posting your book somewhere. So there's websites where people will get these free books and then they'll post it on like torrents or communities like that, and suddenly your book is floating around free everywhere. And you want to be careful about that. So, I mean, theoretically, the person in the US could be doing that too. It just feels a little more suspicious when they're from a country where English isn't their primary language, and where there are known pirate communities that do things like this. So, it's up to you whether or not you accept it from all of them, but my advice is stick to this US, UK, and Canada, and maybe Australia. And then when you're done, you just do add book, and your book will be up for free. Anyone that wants a copy can request it. And, for me, I normally have about 20 people that will request it, even though I allow for 50 people to enter. So everyone who enters gets a copy of it. And then you have to send them the book. So you have their email addresses, or if it's a physical book, you have their address. And when you send it out, I'll send it out to, say, 20 people. From that, I'll get, if I'm lucky, 2 or 3 reviews. So a lot of these people are what you would call a freeloader. They want a free book. And they don't have any desire to review it. They just want a free book. They probably will never read it. And, that's just the sad truth about getting reviews. You're going to have a lot of this. But what you have to remember is these are people that wouldn't have got your book anyway. So, yes, you're giving it away for free, but you're also giving it away to someone who they would have never bought your book. So what do you have to lose? Okay, that's everything. Next place we're going to go to is called Voracious Readers. Voracious Readers. So I will admit this isn't the best looking website. A lot of these pages aren't very nice looking. But they work. And with Voracious Readers, what they do is, I don't know exactly how they're working, but my assumption is they're probably putting ads on Facebook. And they're trying to get people to opt in to get free books in exchange for giving them the email. So when you sign up for them, you don't know any of this. All you have to do is be willing to give people reviews when they tell you they're requesting a review. And you can do this by either having a landing page where someone just clicks and they opt in, and that's it. You don't have to do anything but record their email address. Some people, they even do workflows on MailChimp where the email address is recorded for them. They literally have to do nothing. Other people, they like to be more personal, so whenever they get a review request, they actually reach out to the person and say, hey, thanks for getting my book or requesting my book. I really would appreciate the review or any feedback you can get, and then they attach it to the email. So it's up to you how you do that. You'll be able to set that up when you start the service. So if you go to authors on this page, we'll tell you a little bit more about what they do. And okay, 20 book giveaway application. So this is a free trial, I guess is the best way to say this. So they want to show you how well it works. So they'll let you get your first 20 book reviews for free, or the first 20 giveaways. So what they're saying is they're going to find 20 people who want to read your book and give it to them. And you'll get that pretty quick. I would say it will take less than a week to get this. And then after that, they're going to send you a thing saying, hey, you tried it. Now we need you to pay, because they're in this to make money, and they also spend money doing this because, like I said, I think they're doing Facebook ads, which costs them money. And so their paid service, let's see if we can find it. I believe it's $20, and that's a month. It's not for readers. So it doesn't say how much they charge. I think they do that in their their emails that they'll send you after. But it used to be, it's either $15 or $20. So it's not that much. If you pay for it, I would say you'll get around 20, 30 reviews a month. Or not reviews, requests. And then from that, for every 20 people that request your book, one review would be good. And it takes a while to get those reviews, which is why I say start this early. Give yourself at least a month to try and get reviews and to have your review team. And then the last place you want to go is Booksprout. In Booksprout, it's also free. It's the same thing as Voracious Readers. They have a pricing page here. Let's see, I'm on a free author plan. Does it tell me how much though? Okay, here's your pricing. Always start with the free. You're going to get 20 reviews per advanced reader copy. ARC is advanced reader copy. And then they have the $10 one, which will give you 50 reviews, and $20 one, which gets you unlimited. The free copy, it's a free version, it's enough, because this isn't the best website. They're really working. It's a small team, and they're actually really helpful when you reach out to them with questions. But because they're not, they've been around for a few years, but they're still a very young company, very new company. They're doing a lot of experimenting, trying to be better. But when you put a book up on this website, you're probably going to get, honestly, I would say 5 reviews or five requests. That would be a good number. And of that, maybe one person's going to leave a review. Sometimes I have them go up and no one leaves reviews, which it sucks, but you're not paying anything. And so that's why I say do the free one, because it's rare that you get this 20 reviewers. And one of the reasons for this is there's a lot of kind of spammy stuff on it, in my opinion. Let's see if I can. So here's some best-selling authors apparently. And yeah, I think you have to download the app to see what books are on here. But when I've looked at the categories in the past, it's just really poorly set up. Where I have a lot of books, I do a lot of theology books. So there is a genre for that, and I'll go to that genre and I'll see like erotica in that genre. And it just makes no sense. So authors they're obviously kind of abusing the system, and they haven't really found a fix to it yet. So that's another place you can go for reviews. Another place that this is paid, and it's called Hidden Gems Books. A lot of readers have great success here, and this is a paid service. $20 for paid, and it's really, the way they work is this is like NetGalley. So NetGalley, where you're in front of influencers, but you're not paying one huge price. You're paying instead for readers. So $20 will get you the first 10 readers, and then $3 for every additional reader up to 140. But the problem with this is you have to book really far in advance. So right now it's June, or I'm sorry, July. Okay, they're actually, oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was a little excited there for a minute. I thought I could actually get a review, because I saw June. And I was like, wow, they're not as popular as they used to be. But this is actually June 2022. So they're booked up a year in advance. Let's go to another genre just to see. This is like the most popular genre probably in Hidden Gems is romance. Let's go to children's books, because children's books usually isn't as popular, but who knows? Let's see how far in advance you have to book that one. So March 2022. So it's a little better. But, it's one of these things where if you're not booked, like most writers, they're publishing their book pretty quickly after finishing it. So, maybe they're doing editing on it, but even then it's 3 months tops that they're working on it, not a year. I think you can send out reviews even for books that you've already launched. So, it doesn't say on their main page when you have to request a review, but it's my understanding, I think if your book is, around a year old, you can still request a review. So, like, it would be a year old when the reviews actually come in. So if you want to try that, then that's one way to do it. They have a lot of other services too. So they have a newsletter, a beta reader, one-on-one consulting. And, if you're looking to pay for any of these things, that they have pretty affordable pricing, and they do it pretty well. They're really respectable. So that's how you get started with reviews. Now, what do you do with them? So, I mentioned that you can put them in this place on your Amazon page to show your reviews. So if you want to leave your reviews, and, even if you don't have any reviews yet, you need to get an Author Central page. Author Central is Amazon's website, and you really, it's a good idea to get this early on, as soon as your book is published or up for pre-order, so you can claim it. So Author Central, it's where you can control how your book looks, like where you can add a author bio. So if I do edit profile, you can see where it has my bio, and I can edit it or add a new one. If I don't create this, then it's going to be blank. So let's look at it. Let me see if I can find a book for you that doesn't have one. Okay, so, most books, they actually have it. I had to look a little bit hard to find this book that didn't have it. But here's one that does not have an author page. So it just looks boring down here. It says more about the author. It says more about the author, but there's nothing there. Whereas if you look at, let's go to my book and my books. And when you do one of these bios, it goes on every single page that you have. So anytime I publish a book, the bio is automatically there. So down here, more about the author. So we'll have a little picture of me, we'll have a bio, and I get to create that. And that's all done in Author Central. You also see I have this area that says from the publisher. And I'll show you how to do that in another video, but that is not done in Author Central. It's done somewhere else. And then once you have that, the next thing you want to do is you can go to your review books, and there's a way to add books here if you don't see it. So you do add books, and you can just search for the title or the ISBN. ISBN would be the easiest way to do it. And then, so this is one of the books I have that just came out. It says it's a Kindle version, a hardback version, a paperback version, and an Audible version. And I can go into any of these and add things to it. So I can do edit book details. And right here, under review, I can do edit and add a review in there. And I can also add things like from the author, inside flap, back cover. I don't do these because I do them in other places. So, really all you have to do is worry about this review. Product description will already be in there once you publish your book. So that's how you get reviews, what you do with reviews. And, I'll end with this, how not to get reviews. The first thing is, under reviews, a lot of people will put like Goodreads reviews, so they'll start getting reviews there, and they don't have any paid reviews or anything they can put in the section, so they'll just go to Goodreads and add those reviews. Technically, I see authors do it all the time, and they're not banned, but it is against Amazon's terms to leave those kind of reviews, because you don't own them. Someone else wrote them, and they don't want to get sued for their name appearing on a website where they didn't give authorization. So Amazon just says, don't do it. Will you get caught? I don't know. If you get caught, you'll probably just get a notice and be told to take it down. But My advice is just don't do it. Find places like Reader's Favorite to do it, and don't do it there. The other thing I'll say about it is don't do family reviews. What I mean by that is don't ask family members or friends to review your book. Again, this is against Amazon's terms. They need to be organic reviews from readers who aren't friends or family, because they're not going to leave honest reviews. And how does Amazon know this? I don't know. They're a big company, and my guess is they know this because you buy your friends and family gifts on Amazon, and it's all linked together. Because I see it all the time where friends and family will leave a review and it will show up, and 2 days later it'll be gone. And I don't know the inner workings of Amazon, but my assumption is they probably have little robots that crawl the pages and they get rid of these reviews. And the reason is because they don't have a big problem with the reviews for books, but they do with other products. So they have this huge review problem with people selling on Amazon. And they'll have people who will write negative reviews against another product because they want their product to sell better. And it's just this huge messy problem that Amazon's trying to fix, and by fixing it they go after everyone, and that includes authors, even though authors aren't really the problem. The other thing you never want to do is do a paid review. And what I mean by that is not a paid review from a magazine. Those are fine. Amazon is completely fine with that. What they're not fine with is you might find websites that will say pay us $50 and we'll give you 100 Amazon reviews. That is just red flags all over it. If you do that, then you technically could be in danger of having your entire account terminated, because Amazon sees that as scammy. And if they catch on, they might send you a nasty letter saying don't do this ever again, or we will terminate your account. Or they could just say you're done and terminate your account. It really depends on how severe it is. And it is in the terms that you can't do this, and you can't do things that basically scam the system. So yeah, don't pay for reviews. Don't do friends and family reviews. Pay for reviews from publishers weekly and places like that if you want to, but never from places that are going to get you customer reviews. Never pay for customer reviews, I guess what I should be saying. And if you do that, then suddenly your book, it starts looking more appealing. It's a new book and people are reviewing it, people are interested in it. And so when new readers stumble upon it, they're going to give you a chance.